Hi ladies, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. We're just a little bit before Thanksgiving. So we will have to make sure we all have a wonderful Thanksgiving and think about all the things that you're grateful for. And I can't probably do this webcast tonight without acknowledging our French customers. We know there's been horrible devastation in France, and I want to say how sorry we are for their loss and for their experience of what they're going through. And I think I've learned that keep sewing. Just through shine or rain or sun or whatever, just keep sewing and it'll all somehow not go away, but feel maybe a little less terrible. So thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We are really excited. The holidays are fast approaching, and my concept tonight was to really give you some fun new things, easy, quick things that you could do for the holidays, because I hear it all the time. You guys always say, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. So these things you have time for. You can pick a few, you can pick them all. I kind of made a little cluster of things we could wear for the holidays. So I think sometimes with so much to do the holidays, maybe we don't enjoy the little things that we should really enjoy and appreciate. And so sometimes if we do a little thing for us, sometimes it makes us appreciate the holidays a little more. I'm all for doing a little bit for ourselves. All right, that's the dose for tonight. So with always on our webcast with the beginning, today is November 16th, it's a Monday, we are going to do questions and answers. So again, welcome, welcome. And if you have questions and answers, we will do that first. All right. Question is, I'm making the yoga pants and it seems like the waistband needs to be stretched while sewing. Is this right? And if so, any tips to make it easier or better, or is it just practice? The waistband to the waist should be a 1-to-1 ratio. There shouldn't be a lot of stretching going on. There might be a little bit, but did you change a waist size? If you changed a waist size, if you made it thicker in the waist, then you should go up to a bigger waistband. But the goal of the yoga pant is it's a smooth fit, and in order to get it to be a smooth fit, you want it to be taut on your body, but it's really a 1-to-1. From waistband to pant should be a 1-to-1. So go back and just check the pattern, check your numbers, and make sure that the right pieces were cut. I've made them up in every single size because, for a long time, sorry, I got some in my eye. For a long time, I was traveling, and I was, we had those yoga pant classes, and everybody would try on the yoga pant, and so I made all the sizes. So I would double check just the waist size and then the waistband size and make sure they're congruent, okay? Or that they're the same size. All right? No questions. You know what that means? That means that y'all are just brilliant. Brilliance is popping out of your skull. You need no help from me. So we're going to say goodnight. No, I'm kidding. And we are going to go have dinner. It's cooking downstairs and it smells really good. Today, this month, I decided to make you all aware of scissors. Scissors are a big deal because I get so many emails about problems with scissors and cutting and sizing and all that stuff. For the holidays, you guys are supposed to get yourself a pair of scissors, a new pair of scissors. They're really nice. My son, Mr. Brett, first introduced me to Kai, and boy, I've been a happier sewer ever since, and that's the truth. Because we went to Puyallup and we didn't have any scissors, and he walked around and found the Kai Man at Puyallup. Anyway, but also we have their new rotary cutter. This is pretty cool too, and we have a little deal going right now where if you order the rotary cutter, you get a free blade with it. That's a pretty good deal. Just an FYI. All right, so no questions, huh? Well, I think that means that maybe we answer too many questions. Not too many. Dolman sleeves. Dolman and kimono is the same thing to me. How do you take some of the fullness out from under the arm? Just take it away. Just sew higher up. All of that, you're just bridging the sleeve to the body. And so when you're doing that, all of that underarm area is all design. So if you decide you buy a pattern and you don't like the style, or even if you buy it from the store and you don't like the style, you can just sew it up. Just keep in mind that if there's not a lot of circumference, as you go higher up, you're going to limit mobility. So just kind of be aware of that. but you could pin it out first to see the balance, and then once you don't like it, just serge it away. Pretty easy stuff. How many snaps did you have on the vinyasa scarf? What size are they, the ones on your website? They are the large ones on the website, and I believe there was 9. Now I'm pulling that directly from memory, but I think if you go back to the vinyasa scarf, I think we said there was 9. I remember actually copying the real thing, and there was 9 buttons. Now I might have put 8 instead because our buttons were our snaps. Well, I put snaps instead of buttons. I thought it looked better. But our snaps were a little bit larger than their buttons, so I might have done 8 or 9. We sell them by the 4, so it makes sense for me to do 8, just in a mathematical sense. But they were the larger ones, not the smaller ones on the site. How would I add a collar to Sonia's blouse? Hey Britt, would you go in that closet right there? We did this on a webcast. You guys, whenever that white blouse, see it right there? Nope, right behind the trench coat. Go this way. Left, 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 left. Sorry. See the white? Can you see a white blouse hanging there? Perfect. Okay. So, thank you. This is Sonia's blouse. And this is a webcast that we did a little while ago. You guys, whenever you email me and ask me which webcast, I'll email back question mark. I don't know. Once I do something, it's like in the past. I don't remember it. I'm too focused on what's happening, down the road. So in this case, what I did is I took the collar that was on here, the collar that came with the pattern, and then I went to 600 or another collar pattern you like. I don't care if you have the collar pattern, and just make the neck edges equal. So that means if you have to lengthen this collar right here, this portion, you could do it at center back. You could do it anywhere in here because if you take this off, this is fairly a straight edge. Not completely straight, but it's fairly straight, the neck edges of the collar. So you could add through these parts anywhere and through here to make it as long as the neck edge of the collar that comes with the pattern. And then you can change basically what you're doing is you're changing the outside edge. You're changing up this edge right here. And that's easy enough. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Brett. I knew that shirt was there because I was reminded that I need to add buttons to it, so I stuck it there so I would remember. This is my little sewing closet of things. All right, any other questions? What size snaps? There's 2 sizes of snaps on our website. The vinyasa scarf, I used the larger of the 2 sizes. There are 2 sizes, the smaller and the larger. I used the larger. We're good? We can't be good. We have 15 more minutes. No, I'm kidding. We have lots more time for questions. We could just start, and then if we end early, we end early. It's okay. And then if you have any questions as we go along the way, let me know. All right, so what I did tonight, again, was everything in my mind, I tried to keep it really simple and really easy and really quick. And I toyed with telling you how long it took me, but I can't think of a positive to do that. All I can tell you is it just doesn't take long, and I hope you'll see that. I really do. I hope you'll see that. All right, so I'm going to start with this one because 575, this is Philip's Cape. So we did a little holiday pack of these patterns. It's already online. It's the Philip's Cape, it's the Oscar de la Renta's top, and it's Giorgio's top. So those 3 patterns of the holiday pack, you can go on the very first side of the web page and you can see all those. Now the reason we did them is because I'm going to show you that they're all going to be versatile and they're all going to kind of interact with one another. So this is the first one. This is Philip's Cape, and I only did the cape portion. Alright, so this is a brand new, this is a knit, and it's a herringbone, and it's a stretch. It's very cool. It's a really cool fabric. It's lightweight. It's wonderful. What I did, and I know you can't see some of this, but just listen to me because I'll describe it. I piped this in a black leather piping. The reason I did that, if you go to St. John and if you look at a lot of their holiday things, there's leather just all over this stuff. It's just trimmed. There's not a lot, but there's just trims all over, and it's so pretty. It's just really, really pretty. So I went ahead and used a black leather trim. It's small, but it's nice and it's rich. It's really rich looking. And then I just did one clasp right here. And this is a little magnetic clasp. We don't have this on the site. We don't have them. It's just, people always ask me if I have stashes, and I don't have stashes of fabric, but I have stashes of trims and buttons and clasps. I just love those little things that just add on to at the end. But anyway, so that's just a button there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and show you, because I think for the holidays it's really great to have some good base pieces. So one of the base pieces that I'm using, and you're going to see I'm going to use it, is a black, this is the sweater set. It's just a black t-shirt, just a black long sleeve t-shirt. And I find myself grabbing it and throwing it under things all the time. So I just made the cape to go over it. Then the next one I'm going to show you is I made this one. This is 211. And I actually made two black bases. I'll show you in just a minute. And I'm just going to put this over it because it's easier than buttoning and unbuttoning. And this is 211, except the only difference is instead of, I didn't do a sleeve, and instead of letting it hang down, let me make sure this is laying straight. Sorry about that. It's like changing a person. And then the sleeves come out. So I made a little vest out of it is what I did. I love this. I love this on. This fabric is called Holiday Leopard, I think, or Holiday, I don't remember what it's called, but anyway. It's just a beautiful draped fabric. And so with 211, instead of letting it hang down, like if I undo this button, basically what it does is, 211 just hangs down like that. So I just took that side up here and did a button underneath, and I took this side up there and did a button there, and it gave a little bit of a cowl, and I love that. And then the body's really pretty, and then it's just over that shirt. I made two shirts, so you could kind of decide which one to make it over. I did that. Okay, so that's 211. I wanted to remind you, I put up some black stretch lace, and I got that just for the holidays. Earlier in another webcast we had done this, and because we do a lot in a lot of these webcasts, and I realized not all of you get to all of these ideas, I decided to revisit this one. And it's the back, it's the sweater set, and it's just the back. And you could do it, I thought about maybe I should do it with the back black base, because then if I had it under something you'd never see the lace, but then if I wanted to wear it by itself you would. And the goal of this black lace is you want to cut it asymmetric, so you're going to cut two that are all the way over to this shoulder, and you put one on this side and one on this side. So you have a double layer. You could even do that on top of the black rayon fabric so that nothing could show through or see through, but you can make it as modest as you want. You can make it just a portion of the garment, you can make it a lot of the garment. I just wanted to remind you that this is a great use. You connect it at the bottom with the hem so that it doesn't come open, and you connect it at the top with the neckline again so it stays put and stays comfortable. And I love that look. I think it's just a really pretty look and very holiday to me looking. Okay, I'm going to move this aside for a little bit, and I'm going to go to the back, because on the back we have leggings. We have these Wild Woman leggings back here. Alright, so I love these. This is a new fabric, and y'all gonna think I've lost my mind, but I really haven't. I made them up, I put them on, I said to my son, I said, am I too old for these? And he said, as long as you have a bum, you're not too old. I like that answer. That's true. As long as you have a bum, you're not too old. And I want you to go back, because y'all remember that leggings were, we did a leggings pattern, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3, whatever the number was, when they were starting to come back. Now they've penetrated, they've saturated, they're everywhere, and now what they're doing is they're going wild colors. This is 100% cotton. It's a really cool fabric. They're just everywhere for the holidays. They're every wild color imaginable. They're all over the place. You don't want to wear these to a cocktail party, but you can wear them with this shirt I'm going to show you that I made here in a minute. and they're fabulous, and they are wild, and all you have to do is first wear them with you know, just shopping or just by yourself, and pretty soon you'll really like them. They feel great on. The cotton just feels really nice, and they're a lot of fun. What I did on the waist, just on the leggings pattern, I used 5019. The top, it calls for 1-inch wide elastic, so I just took my regular 2-inch wide elastic, you guys, and I know a lot of you have it. You literally can just cut it right down the middle to get the 1-inch. So don't think that the 2-inch, you always have to use it for 2-inch. You can actually see the little lines, and you can cut in between each one. There's no, if you notice, there's no fraying there, there's no anything. So you've got all your widths here is what you have when you buy that 2-inch wide elastic. Alright, so at the top there you can see that I just put in a 1-inch wide elastic. You can use the 2-inch if you want. I noticed for leggings, I've used the 2-inch top. I find I really do like actually the 1-inch top better. It feels a little less than the 2-inch. It is less, but it feels a little bit less. Alright, so that's that. So what you're going to wear with that is this. You're going to wear fur, because fur, man, it's just, if you've been to a store, you know it's everywhere. It's just everywhere. So I'm hoping you realize how easy it is. What I did with this is I used 2 pieces. I used the front and back of a blouse pattern. I use pattern 400. I don't think it matters. The front and back of a pattern. I wanted it to have a more vest look. If you see, you can move this out of the way. And so I took the French curve and I did it this way. I didn't make the shoulder any wider. I just took it here and made it convex. You certainly could do it this way, and you could make it concave. Either way works. Again, I was purposely pairing it with this, and I'll show you what this is in a minute. I was purposely pairing it together, and so I let that go, and I just love this. I mean, it's so nice looking on. It's amazing. And a very customer sent me a picture today of a vest she had made with fur. It's fabulous. I mean, she just looked absolutely fabulous. Does the cotton knit have any lycra in it? No, it's 100% cotton. You know, which goes back, I burned it. You know, whenever I see stretch and it's cotton, I'm always a little bit suspect, but there's lots of fibers out there that are 100% fabrics that are really good. And the reason it's better to not have lycra is lycra will give out faster. Lycra will just not, it doesn't have the life that cotton does. So cotton will last longer when it's a knit. What pattern is the black lace top? This is pattern number 195, sweater set. I just duplicated the back there. It's my go-to pattern, right? 195? I think I use it on a daily basis. Alright, anything else? We're good? Would you describe the outfit you are wearing? It was last month, sorry, 2 weeks ago. Did we do what, 2 week webcast 2 weeks ago? Or was it 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? See, I told you I can't remember anything in the past. I only remember what's coming up. This is 650. This is the wrap top. If you go back to the last webcast, it's pattern number 650. So it's the wrap top. I just didn't wrap it. I just left it open. This is the brown wool knit. We have it on the website. I love it. I just love it. And then I made a 195 sleeveless to go underneath it. So it makes a great little, a little looser sweater set type thing rather than you know, closer to the body. It's a little bit looser because of the double-breasted worn open, and I really like it. So 2 weeks ago we showed you pattern number 650. Would the cotton knit would the cotton knit sag over time? No, the lycra is what sags. The cotton is better. It's the lycra that wears out. They put lycra as a cheaper fabric than cotton, so they put lycra in it to make it seem good, but it's not long lasting. It gives away, it washes away, it gives out, it wears out, doesn't retain its stretch anymore. The 100% fabrics are better. They will give you a longer life. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so on this now, underneath, what I did is I'm going to take the fur vest off, and we see I did Anne's top. Now this top I got, I mean I made this top, but this top I bought sorry, I made this top. This is the black, can you look this fabric up real quick? The black, it's knit. It's black knit. We have it in black and purple. Anyway, I love this fabric. I mean, I just love this fabric. And I know you all can't see black. You can't see how nice and wonderful it is. It's really nice. This is 115. It's Anne's top. I added length to the bottom because you're going to wear it with this. And you're going to wear it down, you know, you're going to cut it below your crotch so that the top part of the leggings don't even show. And then you just wear a little pair of black flats and you look like $1,000,000. So this, the only thing I changed two things. I changed the length, I cut it longer, and yes, it's the Italian black knit wool mohair. I thought it was, but I just wasn't sure if it was the mohair. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful. And it's very rich looking, just, I guess you would figure that, right? Now, what I did to the collar, they called this the, there was a, what I was trying to say, my mind is so scattered. What I was trying to say is there was a top in Nordstrom's just like this. I don't know, it was $350, something like that. That's $100. It had a wider neck, and what they called it was the ice sweater, or the warm, I can't remember what it was, but it was something to keep you warm. So they purposely built up the neck so that you could kind of wrap it around your neck. So what I did is I took Anne's top, but I cut it twice as wide. So do the exact same collar, don't change that, but instead of cutting it the width it is, you're cutting it twice as wide so that when it folds down, you really get a nice, you know, just a really nice collar. And you can wear it up, you can wear it smack down, but it is black, and it plus the black t-shirt or whatever color your base is, it doesn't matter what color it is, all of this is the charcoal gray. This can go over it. The vest, the cape could go over this as well. I could always put this cape, you know, and the reason I think I've found that two work so well is because one works if it's not as cold and the other one works if it's colder. So it just kind of depends on whether you want to snuggle or whether you just want something lightweight underneath, and it really makes the top part of these garments go a lot farther. So there it is. Both of these necklines just work really, really pretty together. Okay, are we okay with that? So we've got wild leggings. And remember, you guys, you told me a few years ago you would never be seen in leggings. And I'm seeing y'all in leggings, so I know something's changing out there. Would the length on 115 over the green animal print leggings be a 1-to-1 proportion? That's a really good question, but when you are doing proportions, don't do the top to leggings. Let me explain that. The top should be in proportion to your skirt, and so you should already have those proportions done. Let me explain that. If the top is, if you wanted to cover your crotch, then you still measure from shoulder to knee, and you would divide by half, thirds, fourths, or fifths. So the goal in to get the tops in proportion to the body is so that it doesn't matter what you put with them, they will always be in proportion. And you don't need, the leggings are automatically in proportion, but it shouldn't be proportioned to the leggings. It should be proportioned to the knee, just like everything else you're doing. Does that make sense? And I can't hear you, so I will assume that without questions, we will say it does. All right. We're good? All right, we're going to do a couple other things. This last week I went to, and we're going to put this link up on our site. Benno's Buttons is a place here in Dallas. All right, you guys, and this is such a great find that I am not even going to try to buy and wholesale and resell. I'm not even going to try to do all that. They ship every day. They ship buttons literally all over the world. They ship them to Disneyland. They ship them all over the world, and they have some amazing buttons. Their shipping is not expensive. This particular button, I fell in love with this button. So it really, it is, they do an antique, they actually make the buttons. It's an antiquing process. They hand set all the crystals. It's just so pretty. And I know y'all can't see how pretty that button is, but boy is it pretty. It's just really, really beautiful. So there's so many places I could have used it. I kind of struggled and thought, oh, where do I want to use it? What do I want to do with it? And I finally decided I just wanted it almost like as a brooch. This is pattern number 105. This is Oscar de la Renta's, De la Renta's top. Whoops, slipped there. This base is a Pontoroma, but it's a really lightweight Pontoroma. Such a pretty color. And then this is our red little Christmas lace. And earlier today I got sent an email that there was a red lace dress done for the holidays. Beautiful. It was only $24,000, but it was beautiful. You can Google red lace dress for the holidays and it'll come up and you can kind of see who it was and who the designer was. This is all done together as one. This is what holds the lace to the top, and this red lace is just really beautiful. I went ahead and did just a little belt with it underneath just to kind of pull it together. Certainly that's optional, you don't need to do that, but the flow of this lace on the side is just really beautiful. So you can see, really easy, really great. I would wear this with probably like either a dark gray legging. You could go black, but if you went a little lighter, it would focus more on the top. I just think that's a really pretty look. Okay, we good with that? And that's Oscar de la Renta's top. That's one of the patterns in your little packet. And I think I didn't even mention all three patterns are $34.99. It's a good deal. All right, then I wanted to show you this little dress. I saw this. I don't remember where I saw it, but I just really fell in love with it. First off, the texture is amazing. Just beautiful texture. It is a ITY knit, I believe. It has great drape to it. So this is pattern number 312. Giorgio's top. Very simple, very great, very easy to do, but I lengthened it 12 inches so that it actually now is a dress. And it's really beautiful. I don't know how well you can see on the mannequin, but look, yeah, you can. Look at all the drape down there. It's just beautiful. So as I lengthened it, I just kept going out with all the pieces. And just make sure that you lengthen it all the same. I lengthened it 12 inches, but you can lengthen, just lengthen each side of the piece 12 inches and then just connect it so that the entire piece is being lengthened that much. Now, what I did, and what this is this is just a belt. I mean, it's just all I did was measure my rib cage and made a band for it. So there's a couple things you can do with this band. You can make it thinner, and it can actually be like a belt if you want it to be thinner. If you want to, you could pull it up and you could make it like an empire waist, because it's going to stretch, and so it's going to give you the freedom to move it up if you want or to move it down, just depending on where it looks best on you. This particular fabric is black on the back side, and so the other thing you can do is just flip it around to the back side, and you could certainly make a belt that way out of it, and it creates an entirely different look when you do that. So just depending on whether you want a monochromatic look or whether you want to just give yourself a little belt, I think it's a great look either way. So this little section here that I did is 12 inches wide. See how quickly that changes up? It just makes it a whole different look. This right here I did, this is 12 inches wide, and then again what I did is I measured my rib cage and just did it a couple inches smaller so that it would accommodate my rib cage, but then if I wanted to take it down to my waist, I could do that. Some of us look better with the rib cage look where it's an empire waistline. Some of us look better at the waist, and if it's at the waist you could blouse it over a little bit, but just do whatever works for you. And it's really, really easy. I could take it off altogether and wear the dress without anything there, and that looks great either. Does the belt have a closure? It does not. It does not, and it doesn't because it simply is knit, and you can literally put it over your head and put it down around wherever you want it to be. So that belt took about 3 minutes. A minute to cut, a minute to sew, and probably a minute to just press it and put it on. That's your whole 3 minutes. It's very quick. Alright, so let's answer questions because I have 8 new ideas and we've gone through all 8, you guys, so we'll end early and we'll get some sewing time in, right? Please show the back of the red top. That's the side here. That's the back. So pretty. It's just really pretty. I love red lace. Sometimes red lace to me is a little bit too holiday-ish, so I really like the, I'm going to call this maroon. It kind of just really tones it and gives it a totally different flair. So it doesn't scream holiday, but it's definitely holiday. That's what I liked about it. I really liked the pairing of the 2 colors, and then the ribbing around the neck. I just really like that. So even when wearing pants, the proportion should be based off the knee length. Yes, let me just explain that. We've got time. Let me just explain that a little bit. This is in the book. And for Cyber Monday, I think it's Cyber Monday, we've got the book going at 50% off, so nobody ordered the book right now for the next little while. Wait till Cyber Monday. All of your clothes should be proportioned from shoulder to knee. That's called the dress part of the body, and that's where we want to check those proportions. So when I wear a top that's below my rear end or below wherever that is, usually that's going to be 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1. It depends on how long I want it. The longer it goes, the shorter you'll look. So 1.5 to 1 might be a better look than 2 to 1. It can also be 3 to 5. All of those are going to come in within just a little bit of each other, and they're all going to be okay. So that's what you want to proportion it to. On your little worksheet of all the tops and all the lengths that are correct, do that little worksheet and go through and figure out what your top options are. And when I say tops, jackets, same thing. Your jacket lengths, your top lengths, all should be synonymous. When I then take away the skirt or whatever to the knee, whatever it's being proportioned to, and add in pants, there's no changes in the tops. So I should have my whole entire wardrobe coordinated to my height. So the tops are these options and the skirts are these options when I put on a skirt, but I put on a pants. You can't screw up pants. Pants don't have options. The only thing you can mess up is how long the top is. And so that's where you want to use your proportions, but it's not about the pants, it's to the knee. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. A long time ago, in a faraway land, a long time ago you showed how to hold fabric to cut it on the bias for the tie interfacing. How to hold fabric, or probably fold fabric to cut it on the bias for the tie interfacing. Could you repeat that way? I so happen to have a piece of tie interfacing. This couldn't be easier, could it? This is a piece of tie interfacing, and if you open it up, this is a scrap piece, so I was using it for something else. If you open it up, and here's this, it's bad on both sides. That's okay. Just ignore the marks. I was just doing something. Okay, so here's the selvage. You get that. You're going to fold it at a 90-degree angle. So you're going to fold it until this portion becomes 90 degrees to that portion, and that fold is the bias. Very easy to do. Very easy to do. And believe it or not, at my age, I still remember this stuff that I told you so long ago. Alright, how do I fold the tie interfacing to make the 1-inch cuts for the strips for my jacket armhole? Just that was just it. Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's right. So once you have the fold, cut the fold right on the fold, and then those are your first 2 strips, and that's where you want to start cutting your strips from. Okay? I brought my iron to Portland. We had a 2-day in Portland. We had so much fun in that 2-day. So I took my iron to Portland, and somebody had dirty fabric because it really made a mess of my iron. So that was me cleaning up my iron. And I only schlep my iron. How many people would schlep their iron across the country? I only do that because I love that stinking iron. Even though it leaks sometimes, I still like it because it dries up and it's still good. And it's still got great steam. It's just good. but I have to go through all these airport inspections every time I bring it. For the red top, did you add sleeves to the pattern? I thought that pattern was sleeveless. No, the front, you thought wrong. That's what my dad used to always say to me. I used to always say, but I thought so and so, and he'd say, well, guess you thought wrong. This pattern, the front cover has two views. One is sleeveless and one has sleeves. But the back of the pattern, oh, it doesn't have a sleeve in it. That's our mistake. I don't think I've ever realized that. It does have sleeves. There is a sleeve in it. We include sleeves on all of our patterns except for the tank top, but we put sleeves in. We want to, we want to make it your choice, but it does have a sleeve. So, thanks for the reminder. Next time we print that, we'll have to add that to the back. Our mistake. My goodness. How does your height figure into the proportion calculations? Well, your height changes the distance from your shoulder to your knee. So I'm 5'8", and my shoulder to my knee is 40 inches. Somebody who's 5'2", their shoulder to their knee is only 36 inches. So everything's becomes shorter. We don't become shorter from shoulder to bust. We become shorter from bust to waist and from waist to hip and the top of our legs. Those areas are usually what becomes shorter. So you want to make the garments shorter so that it doesn't look like you're wearing, somebody taller than you's clothes, so that it looks like the clothes belong to you. And my philosophy has always been, as long as we're sewing, why not learn these proportions, take them into our advantage, and go forward. I think it's the best thing to do. Also, you guys, we put up a new DVD. It's called What's Up Your Sleeve. Is that the last one we did? That's the last DVD, right? That's the newest DVD. Not a single day goes by, not one single day goes by that I don't get sleeve armhole questions. I mean, every single day. I'm going to give you another push to get the DVD. It answers those questions. And when I sit there and answer your questions, I don't mind answering your questions, but I feel bad that you don't know these answers, because if you don't know these answers, then you're going to run into a brick wall at some point in time, and I just want you to have the logic to know the answers. That's the purpose of the DVD. Alright, when making my pant leg, twist at the bottom leg, what might be causing this? Grain line. Grain line will cause a twist. When the grain is off on pants, remember I said there's only 2 times where grain is really important, and that is on pants, and that is when you have a long top, because, or a pinstripe. Actually, it's a pinstripe, because if the grain is off on a pinstripe or a plaid or something like that, you will see that the grain is off. When the grain is off on a pair of pants, the leg will twist, and there's just not a thing you can do about it. And many times it's one leg because the bottom layer was off grain and you didn't realize it. You may have measured the top and not the bottom or the fabric is a little off grain, or whatever the case may be, but it's often one leg without the other because of that reason. When you guys know I eyeball a lot. You've seen me sew. If I can eyeball it, I'm going to eyeball it. I don't ever eyeball grain line on pants, ever, because I don't trust my eyes, and I know that a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch can make that much difference when it comes to pants and have them hanging correctly. So if that leg twists, it's the grain. Alright? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, because I don't know of any way to fix that. The grain is off. No fringe for holidays. You could even fringe the belt too, right? Or would that be too much? You guys, I have fringed so much. I have fringed, I think, in every webcast for the last 2 months. So I decided you had enough fringe. It is everywhere in the stores. You cannot get away from it. But, I fringed last webcast. I have fringed plenty. Y'all know how to fringe. Okay. I feel like I've done my fringing time frame. My fringe is good. Please describe that black sparkly fabric. I will be happy to. This is just incredible fabric. This has, and whenever we put fabrics up online, every time it kind of makes me sad because it's so beautiful. It's a poly knit. But it doesn't feel like it at all. It has a beautiful backing. It feels like cotton. I mean, and it's two layers, and they're somehow spun together because you can absolutely feel the back layer. It feels like cotton. I actually thought there was cotton in here. I actually tried really hard to kind of pull the layers apart and burn one separate than the other to see if there was some cotton in there. I don't think there is. I mean, I couldn't really get the layers apart, but it's really beautiful, and it has such a texture to it. It's very pretty. It's just really, really pretty. Very fun, easy, flirty fabric. Just fun, and even to do shorter with leggings, I think would be really cute. How much fabric for a Giorgio's dress? Well, the garment itself calls for 2 yards. I'd get 1 extra yard. So 60-inch wide, just the top. Because it's a kimono sleeve, it requires a little bit more fabric. So if you get 3 yards, you should be good. 60-inch wide fabric. I think the 2 yards is 60 inches as well. 45 is 2.5. Even if you had 45 and you got 3, you'd be okay. Do you still have the sheets of press-on sparkles for Christmas? Those would be the iron-on crystals. Yes, they're on the website. They're under Notions. If you go to the Notions page, you'll see like a list of things that are on the next page, because we've got to where we have a lot of Notions now. And so we are having a second page. Also the elastic, I'm going to tell you this, because don't order elastic this week. Because on Black Monday we're going to have an elastic sale. It'll be by the roll, but we're going to have an elastic sale and interfacing. I just hate to have you order it and then, somehow we turn around and we put it on sale. But there are going to be some good sales. They're on Cyber Monday. Oh yeah, we're actually going to do it a week from tonight. A week from today. We're going to start Cyber Monday a week early, because this is what we think. We think y'all will be sewing over Thanksgiving and you'll want this stuff. So we decided we would start it, get it going, and that way we don't get hit so hard after. Yeah, we're going to end it on Cyber Monday. It'll go through, and we have a webcast on Cyber Monday, don't we? 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from today we have a webcast. You guys, we have a lot of cool things planned. So that also means, should we tell them about the JP? Okay, no, we're not going to tell them that. Okay, sorry. On next webcast, though, we're going to announce, we're going to have our sew-in. We're going to do a sew-in this year. Our pattern for the month of December is pattern number 1500. It's a jacket, because I think jackets are great. They're great for the holidays. So we're going to fit it and work on it next Monday. No, 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks. And then, I don't know the date, but it's going to be a Sunday afternoon. I want to say it's the 5th or the 6th, but I don't remember. So that's when we're going to do a sew-in. We're going to do a 3-hour sew-along, and I'm going to make 1500. A year ago we did 1950. It's the 6th. So it's the 6th, it's a Sunday, and we'll announce this all, but we want you to, save the date, Sunday afternoon, mark it off, your time. Watch live. We're going to do our Toys for Tots. We're going to do that drive again. It was wildly successful last year. I think it's a great time to think about others and to donate a little bit, and we can do it together. Also, you guys, can watch. We are going to record it this year, so we realized we made a mistake in not recording it last year. But anyway, we're going to record it this year, December 6th, and I'm going to make 1500. So I'll cut it out, do everything, sew it, and have it ready to go while you all are watching, and you just can't critique my sewing. Since you made Giorgio's top out of a knit, did you cut a smaller size? Giorgio's dress is always out of a knit, so I cut the same size as I always cut, because Giorgio's top is a knit. So I didn't change anything. The only thing I did was lengthen it. Ask about the dress. Did Peggy make it with negative ease? That would be Giorgio's top? Is that what you're talking about? Giorgio's top that I made into a dress? I made it with negative ease, but I always make it with negative ease. My bust is over 31, and I make a size 31 bust. So I have about 4 or 5 inches of negative ease on there. Okay? Does that help? Now you know all my secrets. All right, ladies. See, if we end now, you have 15 minutes to sew. In 15 minutes, you could get a top done. I love this fur. This is cute. I'm so excited to have this stuff and wear it. And all I did is I just put one little clasp right there at the waist. I don't know. I don't have a mirror, but and it doesn't match brown because it's charcoal gray, but it's cute. And the vests are really popular too. So the coolest thing is vest just takes such little time. You've only got a front and a back. So all the styles are catering to our sewing loves, to the things that are really simple. Would 1500 look good longer? I am older and have larger hips. It doesn't matter how old you are, and it doesn't matter how big your hips are. 1500 will look really good long, yes. It would look good knee length. It's beautiful knee length. It's really, really pretty knee length, and it's adorable short, just like a little hip length. Both of those work really well. Both of them are really flattering, and it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, and it doesn't matter your weight. Thin, heavy, doesn't matter. It still looks really good. It's your best look. All right? All right. Should knit tops always be made with negative ease? If you guys around the country, like in Portland, we had a 2-day, I love doing all these because I get to know all of you a little bit better, and we as women are pretty critical of ourselves, all in all. And women, especially if they've lost weight, they always make their tops too big. And they come in and their tops are too big, and it's knit. Now I'm talking about knit. And their tops are like maybe equal to the size of their bust, and they look terrible. They look terrible. So my answer is knits should always have negative ease. Negative ease just means that it's the opposite of ease. So ease means it's your body size plus a certain number of inches gives you the garment. Negative ease means it's your body minus a few inches gives you the garment. So that's negative ease. The reason you have negative ease in knits is because right under the bust there's a hollow. And any time you can pull that garment in to show off that hollow, you are always going to look better. It doesn't mean it has to be tied over your tummy, but it needs to have some negative ease going over the bust or you just look heavier. It's why we like t-shirts over blouses. Not that we don't love blouses, but we look more slimming in a t-shirt because of the negative ease. So yes, t-shirts should always have negative ease. Negative ease is a positive. Peggy, which fur is that? Totally gorgeous. Thanks, totally gorgeous on you. What pattern is that again? Could you show us the back? It's pattern number 400, but you could use 600. If you have 600, they're the same body. All I did was take the French curve, go from here to here, and just round out. Like normally a blouse comes around the front and then goes straight. You know, it has a real distinct center front line. So I just took the French curve and turned it this way. Convex, not concave, convex, and went from the shoulder point to center front and just did it out. And what was the last part? Could you show us the back? The back is just the back. Oh, the only thing I did do it is normally you have darts at the back. I didn't do darts. I just cut out the side seams a little bit more so that it would give me a little bit of shaping at the sides. And like I said, I did literally 2 shoulder seams, 2 darts, 2 side seams, and I did hem it all the way around. I serged it, turned it under, and top stitched. Normally in a fur I would just leave it, but this is a thin fur, so I really wanted to give it a finish, and I just really liked it. When I turned it under, I thought if I top stitched it, it would look kind of funky. It doesn't. I really, really like it, and it's and then I put a clasp, these little silver clasps that we have, and they're great. So you can see this could not have taken a long time, if that's fair. How much negative ease for somewhat modest knit top? You know, I would say 2 inches is modest. 5 inches, 6 inches gets into taunt. But keep in mind, it depends on the knit. It's hard these days to give exact answers because knits are all differently. So if you're dealing with an ITY knit, you can have much more negative ease than if you're dealing with a slight stretch. So that's why we always say wrap the knit around you, pull it till you like it, but you should always use a negative ease. I would recommend you always use a negative ease. You're going to find that you just really like it. Okay. What else, ladies? Will you have a sale on fabric? Yes, please, a sale on fabric. Well, yes and no. How's that? The fabric that we're going to have on sale, I can't believe I'm telling you all these deep, dark silhouette pattern secrets. We are going to have the muslin fabric on sale, the knit muslin, because you guys need to make muslins. You guys, you know, I mean, when we did the muslin last week on the 650 and everybody said, oh, that was, you know, we got great repercussion from it. I found that many of you emailed me and said you just can't find decent fabric to do muslins with, and I can totally appreciate that. We have muslin fabric. It's $4.99 a yard. So what we're going to do is, I think it is, if you buy 10 yards, we're going to take it down to $3.99 a yard. Now that's our Black Friday sale. So maybe we'll put the Black Friday up early. No, we won't put the Black Friday up early. We have to wait till Black Friday. But that's the fabric we're going to put on sale. The rest of the fabric is not going on sale, you guys, because it sells. We're shipping it literally all over the world. We keep our prices really low. We're not trying to make a killing off this. We're trying to supply you with great fabric, because what I find, I have beautiful fabric to sew with, and you know what? It makes a difference. So there is no sale on the fabric. We didn't even put on sale our summer fabric from last year, because we're shipping so much fabric around the world that some places it's summer and some places it's winter, and so we find that all of the season's fabric sell all the time. So there is a sale on fabric on the knit muslin, but the rest of the fabrics are going. I mean, most of these fabrics online, you guys, we've got like 2 yards, 4 yards. We have such little amounts left. Like 50% of that fabric, we have very little left of it. So if you're holding out for something, y'all get it. And then you can sew over the weekend for Thanksgiving. All right. If I use a stretch faux fur, should I use a knit pattern? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is the cotton back. This is a faux fur that's not a stretch. The one that we have that's a stretch, you got to think about this. You don't really want the fur to be stretch on you. What's nice about the stretch is when I made that cape a little while ago, and you could just pull it over your shoulders. It was kind of like just a little shoulder shrug. You could pull it over your shoulders. That was perfect to use the stretch for, because you could stretch it over your shoulders and it kind of kept you snug. And it kept it minimal. But with these, I don't think you really need the stretch, and I wouldn't don't use the negative ease on the stretch. Don't rely on that negative ease. You don't need it. It's not necessary. Okay? So when in fur, I guess to answer the question, when using fur, don't use negative ease. Even if it has a stretch to it, I wouldn't rely on it. All right? Without the belt on the Giorgio's dress, is it very loose? No, it's not at all, because Giorgio's top, remember, I'll take this off. Giorgio's top is a princess seam. So, and it comes in at the waist and then flares out and has a little peplum. So it's not, even without the belt, it's not loose. Sorry about this. She's changing. We're undressing. All right. See, there's not a lot of room anyway. It comes in at the waist and then flares out. You don't really want all that extra here. Remember, you want a little bit of negative ease right in here and then let it go extra through the waist and the hip. Okay? Do you have a bust dart in the fur vest? Yes. Here, I'll show you the inside. There it is. Can you see it? Yep. So when you put the fur together, you won't even be able to see the dart. I mean, if you really you can hardly even see it even if you're looking straight at it. The fur just kind of compensates. Whenever you go to put the fur together, I love this fur. It's like a charcoal. It's so beautiful. When you go to put the fur together, put it together and then like make sure all the fur is, when you go to put it together, it's hard to explain, but just put it together so that all the fur is down, and then when you go to sew it and you turn it the other way, you don't even see the seam. Just kind of, and that's what's nice about making it out of a fitted pattern, because the fur will fit so nicely and it's not too tight, but especially with a vest. And you know, when you shop out there, all the vests are like boxes. They're just, they're not flattering. So to make this fur vest is really a great concept, because it's so much more flattering than buying it. And it's a whole lot cheaper. Especially the quality. The quality of these furs are beautiful. All right. Just curious how Philip's cape would look over that Giorgio's dress. Well, if you're curious, we could just do it. How's that? I love that you guys are curious. This is kind of fun. We could just play. I don't think the colors go together, in my opinion. And that's not to say that it's not black and it's not sparkly. Let me get the sleeves out of here. I mean, if you changed up the fabric, I think it'd look fabulous together. I don't care for these two fabrics together, and I'm not sure why. Let me put that into words here in a minute. I think they're both bold. This is bold and this is bold, and they're two bolds fighting each other. Would you agree with that, Brett? Yeah, I mean, do you think it works together, the fabrics? Yeah, the fabrics kind of clash. From probably where you're looking, the styles actually look really cool together. I like it together. But as far as this particular fabric and this particular fabric, I don't think they work together. Look how cool that vest looks. The cape looks. When you lay it down on this fabric, you can see that continues, because I put it on a 45-degree angle, fold your fabric, and then put the front on a 45-degree angle. And then with this particular fabric, you can see how neat that is. The front looks really cool. Very easy. It all lines up. How do you figure out negative ease adjustment on a pattern? Well, you don't have to figure it on the pattern. What you do is, like I'm going to use 312 as an example, because 312, well, I'll use 105 as an example. 105 is De Laurentiis top, and it has negative ease. So what you do is you go through it. It says on here, you go through and measure some of your tops. So your t-shirts. So the t-shirts you wear, I'm assuming you know what your bust measures. I'm going to probably tell you that most of the t-shirts you like will measure smaller than your bust. So measure 4 or 5 of your t-shirts that you wear that you like. Recognize how much smaller they are, and they probably won't all be the same, because they're different fabrics, and different fabrics stretch different amounts. So if your bust is 40, some will measure 35, 36, 38. You do that. That is your negative ease. On the back of the pattern, all of our numbers are finished. That's why they are, because otherwise you would never be able to pick a pattern out. You have to have the finished garment measurements in order to know what to pick and how to pick the size you want it to be. So once you decide the finished garment measurement your t-shirts are, you just come back here, and those are the numbers on here. These are not body measurements, these are garment measurements, and it says so in the description. Okay, which is, at Silhouette Patterns we've been around, almost 19 years now? We started doing that when people would look at us and think we were crazy. But we knew that it was the only way to do it because of my experience in ready-to-wear. It was the only way we could do it. Even though we knew the concept would be an uphill climb, because everybody in the garment industry wants to measure, in the ready-to-wear, in the sewing industry wants to measure their body and pick that size. That will never work. It doesn't work now. It never worked yesterday. It won't work tomorrow. You have to know what your clothes measure. And again, I'm going to reference you to Brett's chart. If you go over on Silhouette Patterns, over to the features, in the middle column, it says, what's the name of that chart you put up? Finding your measurements. Finding your measurements, it says new by it, and those are your clothing measurements. In order to make clothing, you need to know what you like. You need your clothing measurements. That makes sense, doesn't it? Your body measurements have no clue in helping you figure out what you like. So we're trying to get you away from that concept into finished garment measurements, and all of our patterns are that way. Does that help when I go through and explain that? Does that help? Yes? How early will your December 6th sew-in start? Just trying to plan with church hours. We kind of took church hours into effect. So we decided if we did it from 1 to 4, I think those are the hours we decided, 1 to 4, it would be early, not too early on the West Coast and not too late on the East Coast. And you poor people overseas and around the world, that's why we're recording it for you, because I think in Australia time, it's nap time. Nappy poo, sleepy poo time. So we're recording it for that reason. You know, we've grown a lot in a year, and our overseas and our foreign has grown tremendously. So to ignore that section of our business and not record it, I don't know, I guess it was really insensitive of me last year to say we weren't going to record it. Oh, okay, so Brett reminds me, we didn't know YouTube could handle that at the time. There's been so many technological changes, that's fair. So we didn't know YouTube could record that whole hour. So we were sensitive. We just didn't know we could do it. But now we know it can handle it. It can handle 3 hours, huh? It can? Okay. I forgot the whole technical side of it. Anyway, so we're going to record it. It means I have to get the jacket done in 3 hours because it can't handle 3:01. No, but we'll go from 1 to 4 on that Sunday. And the goal is so on Saturdays everybody could get out, get their stuff done. Sundays go to church, do whatever, and then you'd have that afternoon kind of free so that we could hopefully get together and kind of sew together, and you can ask questions and just have a good time and get ready for the holidays. And you can sew with me. That's the goal. And then if you have questions, you can stop and I'll answer your questions. So everyone's going to make a jacket on December 6th. That means you need to get your fabric. That means you can't wait to get your pattern because we'll put the POM up. It would make sense if we did a little early this time, huh? We'll put the POM for December up sometime next week. We'll have 2 POMs going at one time, just to kind of help you get the pattern, get it, we're going to drape it in 2 weeks. So we'll announce it on Facebook when that POM is up, or we'll announce it in an email when the December POM is up, and then we'll start from there. Our December 1 is right around the corner, you guys, and we start our POM membership, our club, for 2016. Wow. All right. So anyway, I think we're good. We're good? Everybody good? Everybody's ready to sew? Go sew. I said we were going to end early. We didn't end early. Still have time to sew. All right. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Have a wonderful time with your family. Bye.